My fiancée swapped my name for her ex's on our wedding invites. It was a typo, she laughed. I replied, I'll fix it. Then I called the venue, canceled the reception, and emailed the corrected guest list a new invite to my I'm single again party. Her mom's screaming voicemail. I, 32 male, am, or rather was, a fiancé. I'm a planner. I'm a data guy. I like spreadsheets and clear-cut goals. My fiancée, Eliza, 30, is not. She's a go-with-the-flow, live-in-the-moment, aesthetics are everything kind of person. I thought we balanced each other out. I thought her chaos was charming, and she thought my stability was comforting. Turns out her chaos was just a deep, abiding love for her ex-boyfriend. We've been planning our wedding for a year. It's in 3 weeks. The stress has been high. Her mother, Diana, 50, is the ringleader, and she has a taste for things that cost more than my car. I've just been signing checks, trying to keep the peace. I've paid for 90% of this circus. The venue, the band, the artisanal, 6-tier probably tastes like cardboard cake. All on my cards. Eliza, who has a background in graphic design, insisted on handling the invitations herself. She used some high-end, painfully expensive letterpress service. The feel has to be right, Grant, she'd said. It's the first thing people see. It sets the tone. The box arrived yesterday. I was genuinely excited. This was it, the final piece. I slid open the box. The top one was beautiful. Thick, creamy cardstock. Elegant gold script. I read it. Diana and her dad's name request the pleasure of your company at the marriage of their daughter Eliza Rose to Julian Scott. I stopped breathing. My brain just buffered. Julian is her ex-boyfriend, the one she dated for 5 years before me, the one her mother still brings up at holidays, the one who got away that she swore she was over. My name is Grant. I pulled out another one. Same, another, same, the whole box. 200 invitations, all inviting our friends and family to the wedding of Eliza and Julian. I was weirdly calm. Just cold. I walked into the living room where Eliza and Diana were looking at floral centerpieces on a laptop. Hey Eliza, I said, my voice sounding distant. The invites are here. There's a small problem. Oh, thank God, she said, not looking up. How do they look? Are they perfect? They're something, I said. They look great, but they have the wrong name on them. Diana huffed. What? Did they misspell your last name? Those printers, I swear. No, I said. They got your name right, Eliza. They put Julian's name instead of mine. Silence. Diana's head snapped up. Eliza froze. Then Eliza laughed, a high-pitched, hysterical titter. Oh my God, she said, covering her mouth. No, are you serious? She grabbed the invite from my hand. Her face went pale, then flushed bright red. It must have been a typo, she gasped, still laughing. A typo, can you believe it? The printer must have, oh my God, I must have uploaded the wrong draft. I had his name in there as a placeholder from an old file. How embarrassing. Diana chimed in. A typo? Oh, Eliza, it's just a silly mistake. Grant, don't look so serious. It's honestly hilarious. I just stared at her. A typo? You typoed your ex-boyfriend's full name onto our wedding invitations. Grant, stop, she said, her laugh fading into annoyance. It was a mistake, a stupid file error. Don't be paranoid. You're ruining the mood. We'll call them, get a reprint. Eliza, I said, my voice still quiet. The wedding is in 3 weeks. There's no time for a reprint and to mail them out. And you didn't type this. You uploaded a file named Eliza and Julian's Wedding. Her eyes went wide. I hadn't even known that. It was a guess. A cold, logical deduction. Her expression confirmed it. You are so dramatic, she snapped. It's just a name. God, you're always like this, trying to make me feel bad. It was a simple, stupid mistake. Are you going to hold this over my head forever? I looked at her, really looked at her. The panic in her eyes, the immediate gaslighting, the shift to my behavior being the problem. I thought about the last year, the accidental texts from him she'd reply to, the way her mom said, Julian used to love this restaurant, the everything. The circuit breaker in my head, the one that keeps me calm and logical, just flipped. I smiled. It felt tight and wrong. You're right, I said. It's just a typo, a silly mistake. Don't worry about it, babe. I'll fix it. She visibly relaxed. Oh, okay. Good. See, not a big deal. Not at all, I said. I'll handle the typo and the guest list. You keep working on the flowers. They're the important part, right? The tone. Exactly, she said, relieved. Thank you, baby. You're the best. I went into my home office and closed the door. I sat there for 10 minutes, just vibrating. The hurt was a physical thing, like a punch to the gut. Then, I got to work. I'm a planner after all. Step 1, the money, 7:10 p.m. I opened my laptop. I have a separate high-yield savings account where I'd been dumping all the wedding funds. It had about $22,000 left in it. I transferred the entire balance to my personal checking, then transferred it again to a new savings account at a completely different bank, effective immediately. Step 2, the venue. I pulled up the contract for the Grand Oak, our stupidly expensive venue. I'd paid the $10,000 deposit. The final $15,000 was due next week. I called the events manager, Sharon. Sharon, hi, it's Grant. We have an issue with our wedding. We're gonna have to cancel. Oh, Mr. My last name, is everything all right? Not really. I'm afraid the bride-to-be is still in love with her ex-boyfriend, so much so that she put his name on the invitations. There was a gasp on the other end. I know the $10,000 deposit is non-refundable, I said. I'm eating that. I just need to make sure my card isn't charged for the balance. Please confirm the cancellation via email. Of course, Grant. I am so sorry. Me too, I said. Thanks. Step 3, the vendors, 7:20 p.m. One by one. The florist, $3,000 deposit, lost, canceled. The band, $2,500 deposit, lost, canceled. The cake, $1,000 deposit, lost, canceled. The photographer, $4,000 deposit, lost. This one hurt. I liked him. Canceled. Total cost of this typo, $20,500, cheaper than a divorce, I figured. Step 4, the typo fix. I logged into the wedding website Eliza had so meticulously built. It had the full guest list, all 200 emails. I clicked Email all guests. I drafted a new email. Subject, an important correction regarding the my last name, Eliza wedding. Dear friends and family, you may soon be receiving a beautifully printed invitation to the wedding of Eliza and Julian. This was apparently a typo. As the actual groom, Grant, I've decided to fix this little clerical error. The wedding of Grant and Eliza is canceled. However, I've already paid a massive non-refundable bar tab at a fantastic venue, and I hate to see good booze go to waste. Therefore, I cordially invite you to Grant's I'm Single Again party, same date, same time. New venue, the Apex Lounge, address. Come celebrate my narrow escape. Gifts are not expected, but your presence and thirst is appreciated. See you there. Grant, I stared at the send button. My hand was shaking. This was the point of no return. I thought about Eliza and Julian. I clicked send. Step 5, the aftermath. 8:00 p.m. present. My phone started to melt. Texts, emails. My best man Ben was the first. Dude, holy, I'm calling you. My mom, honey, please call me. What is going on? Mutual friends. WTF, this is a joke, right? OMG Grant, I am so sorry. Then, Eliza's phone, which she'd left on the coffee table, started to melt. She and her mom were still in the kitchen, blissfully arguing about peonies. I heard her walk back into the living room. God, who is blowing up my... She picked up her phone. The silence was deafening. I just sat in my office waiting. Grant? She said, her voice small. Grant, what is the Apex Lounge? I walked out. She was paper white. That's my fix, I said. I canceled the wedding and invited everyone to a party instead, at a different venue. You're not invited. You canceled? She shrieked. You what? The wedding. It's off. You can't marry Julian if I've already canceled the venue, Eliza. It was a typo, she screamed, her face turning crimson. A typo. You psychopath. You ruined my wedding. No, I said, grabbing my keys and my laptop bag. You did, when you put his name on the invite. I'm calling the venue. I'm fixing this. You can't. Go ahead, I said. The deposits are gone. The contracts are voided. All in my name. All paid by me. I was walking to the door when her mom, Diana, finally processed what was happening. She stood in the doorway blocking me. You are not. You are going to fix this. You are going to call everyone back and then apologize. You have humiliated my daughter. She humiliated me, I said, moving past her. Have a good night, Diana. Oh, and Eliza, I'll be changing the locks on my condo tomorrow. You should probably make some plans. I left. I'm at Ben's house now. My phone has 18 missed calls from Eliza, 12 from Diana, and 34 texts, and 1 voicemail from Diana. I put it on speaker for Ben to hear. Grant, you son of a... You listen to me. You have ruined my daughter. You canceled her dream wedding. You canceled the florist. I am going to sue you. I'm going to sue you for everything you have. You will pay for the dress. You will pay for the cake. You will. You. It just dissolved into screaming. Ben just looked at me wide-eyed and handed me a beer. Dude, he said, that $20 was the best money you ever spent. I think he's right. Update 1. It's been a week. I'm writing this from a sterile, furnished corporate apartment. My company owes me a favor, and my fiancée put her ex's name on our wedding invites. It was a good enough reason to cash it in. I haven't been back to my condo. First things first, the I'm single again party is 100% on. The Apex Lounge was bemused, but totally cool with me transferring the bar tab. I think the manager gave me a pity discount. The fallout has been biblical. My condo is premarital. I bought it 5 years before I met Eliza. But as my lawyer, yes, I have one now, shout out to Greg, informed me she has tenants' rights. I couldn't just change the locks. So I had her formally served with a 30-day notice to vacate. This did not go over well. She's still in the condo and she's not happy. She finally called me from a blocked number and I, stupidly, answered. You served me? She shrieked. You had a stranger come to my door and serve me? Like I'm a criminal? I'm following the law, Eliza. You have 30 days to move your things. Move my things? This is my home. You are abusive, Grant. This is financial abuse. You canceled my dream. You put your ex-boyfriend's name on the invitation, Eliza. That was your dream, apparently, not mine. It was a typo. A mistake. How many times do I have to say it? I was stressed. My mother was. I uploaded the wrong file. It didn't mean anything. It meant enough, I said. I'm blocking this number now. All communication needs to go through my lawyer, Greg. You have his card. I hung up, but the entitlement has just mutated. Yesterday, I got a registered letter at my office. It was from Diana. It was an invoice, a meticulously itemized 5-page invoice for $28,450. It included $10,000 for purchase of non-refundable wedding gown and accessories, $5,000 for emotional distress and humiliation caused by libelous email. She used the word libelous. It's not libel if it's true. $3,500 for prepaid non-refundable beauty treatments, tanning, facials, hair trials. $2,000 for loss of deposits for bridal shower venue. $1,500 for custom-made cake topper. And my personal favorite, $6,450 for consultation fees for wedding planning services rendered by Diana, her last name. She was billing me for helping? I just stared at it. The $1,500 for the cake topper jumped out at me. It was this custom-made silhouette thing. I have the Amex charge on my statement. I paid for it. Not her, not Diana. They were trying to double dip. I scanned the invoice and emailed it to Greg with the subject line, FYI, this seems ambitious. Greg called me back, laughing. Do not respond, he said. This is what we call amateur hour. It's legally meaningless. It's a tantrum on paper. But the artifact, the cake topper, it bothered me. I paid for it. It was mine. And it was presumably still in my condo. Then, the dirty trick. I got an alert from my bank, a fraud alert. Someone had tried to cash a check from my old dormant checking account, an account I haven't used in 3 years. The check was made out to Diana, her last name. The amount? $15,000. The memo line, vendor payment, wedding. It was Eliza. She must have found an old checkbook in the back of a drawer in my office and tried to pay her mother for her consulting fees. The check obviously bounced. The account was overdrawn by about $14,980. But it was attempted fraud. Criminal. I called Greg. He wasn't laughing anymore. Okay, he said. This is good for us. This is very good. I'm sending this to her lawyer right now with a note. This is how we get her out of the condo before 30 days. Greg sent a blistering email to Eliza's new lawyer, a bottom feeder Diana must have found in the phone book, that very politely outlined the check fraud. He suggested that, in lieu of his client, me, pressing criminal charges, Eliza should agree to vacate the property in 48 hours and sign a full release of all property, save for her personal belongings. Her lawyer must have told her how much jail time felony check fraud carries. I got an email 2 hours later. A single line from her lawyer, Miss, her last name, will vacate the premises by 5 p.m. Friday. That's tomorrow. Ben and I are going over with a police escort just to supervise the move out. The I'm single again party is officially back on at my soon-to-be exorcised condo. I'm changing the locks for real the second she's gone. Update 2, final. It's over. I'm sitting in my condo. It smells weird, like burnt hair and cheap perfume. But I'm here. And it's mine. The move out was a spectacle. I showed up with Ben and 2 police officers. The officers were incredibly professional, just stood by the door to keep the peace. Eliza was there with Diana. They had not packed. They had apparently spent the last 48 hours grieving. And by grieving, I mean destroying my stuff. It wasn't overt, it was petty. My favorite leather chair? A long, thin razor cut down the back cushion. My high-end blender? Gone. My entire collection of spices? Dumped into the kitchen sink. My toothbrush? Found it in the toilet. And the smell? She had apparently emptied every bottle of perfume she owned onto my mattress. I'll have to burn it. Diana started immediately. You brought cops? You're arresting her? You monster. Ma'am, the officer said, we're here to prevent a breach of the peace. Mister, my last name is allowing Miss, her last name, to retrieve her personal items. These are her items. Diana shrieked, gesturing wildly at my television. She lives here. This is her home. No, it's not, I said, my voice dead. Greg's email, 48 hours. Get your stuff, now. Eliza just sat on the floor, crying. You did this, you hate me. I do now, I said. You wrote a fraudulent check for $15,000, Eliza. You tried to steal from me. Get your stuff. That's when I saw it. The custom cake topper. The $1,500 artifact I paid for. It was on the dining table. It was defaced. She'd taken a black marker and drawn, well, let's just say she drew some vulgar things on the silhouette of me. And she'd snapped her own silhouette off at the ankles. You can't have that, I said, pointing at it. My mother paid for this, Eliza screamed, grabbing it. No, she didn't, I said. I pulled up the Amex charge on my phone. I did. That's my property. Put it down. She held it. A real standoff. The cops tensed. Then, with a final primal scream, she threw it against the wall. It shattered into a dozen pieces. Fine, she sobbed. Now it's nothing, like you. The officer stepped forward. Ma'am, you need to gather your belongings and leave. Now, or you will be arrested for property damage. It took them 2 hours. They filled a U-Haul van. Diana tried to take my sofa. The officer had to intervene and asked to see a receipt. She couldn't, because I bought it. Finally, they were gone. The door closed. The officers left. I stood in my ruined, smelly apartment. And I just laughed. I lost a chair, a mattress, and a blender. It cost me about $25,000 in lost deposits and damages. And it was worth every single penny. The I'm single again party was 2 weeks ago. I had the condo professionally cleansed. Biohazard cleaners, basically. And it was the best party of my life. Over 100 people showed up. My friends, my family, and hilariously, about half of our mutual friends. The ones who had heard the full story, aided by the forwarded email, of course, and were disgusted by her. Ben made a speech. To Grant, a man who knows when to fold 'em and when to throw a banger of a party with the pot. We used a copy of the Eliza and Julian invitation as kindling for the fireplace. It was cathartic. The aftermath? I heard from a mutual friend that Eliza and Diana are furious. Not just at me, but at the world. Their smear campaign failed. My libelous email was just the truth. Eliza is living with her mom. And Julian? The man she sacrificed her life for? He actually messaged me on Instagram. Hey man, heard what went down, that's insane. Just wanted to say I had nothing to do with it. She's a lot. No hard feelings. He wasn't in on it. He wasn't her co-conspirator. She'd just been obsessing, fantasizing, staring at an old file named Eliza and Julian until she convinced herself it was real. It's pathetic. I'm not even angry anymore. I'm just done. I'm out $25. I'm sleeping on an air mattress until my new bed arrives. I need a new blender, but I'm free. I didn't marry into that family. I didn't tie my life to a woman who would commit a felony over a typo. The revenge wasn't the party. The revenge was believing her. I said I'll fix it, and I did.